Cologne is over. Spirit won. Falcons didn't make it to the playoffs. Today's video is about looking into the game of Spirit and Falcons at the same time on the map. Dust 2. The games that I chose is Spirit against Aurora and in the upper bracket of the semifinals, and Falcons against Furia in the elimination game on map 3. We're gonna look at some similar situations and how these two teams play the map, and where the mistakes were the good things, and who did what, and how it looked like for us, the viewers, and what I think about the whole game that these teams are playing. Now we're gonna start with Spirit. The first round that I'm going to show is the anti-force. They won the pistol. They're starting on the obviously on the T side, and you will see the opener here. Chopper goes with the smoke and a molly. Immediately we're going to switch to Donk, and you will see how he instantly takes space. There is no waiting. There is no 300 flashes. He just goes there. He takes short. He understands the timing, and then that the mid smoke might be broken, but he beats it. Even if it's not broken, even if it was broken, he would have beat it. Molly short, gets up to short. Meanwhile, the kill happens, and they group up on short. The way they execute, Chopper throws 2 smokes, to 1 avant-garde, 1 entry smoke. That's how teams usually call it. And you can notice that there is no rush into charging, into swinging short. They're setting up properly. There's 20 seconds on the smoke. Even though the rotations come, it's not a problem. They have enough utility and enough players on that side to deal with it. Zontix dies in the meantime, but that's not a big problem. Even that doesn't really speed them up. They clear everything. They stand next to the smoke. The spacing is good. You can see it here. 1, 2, 1, 2, and then the third guy is throwing molly and flashes, and they can safely get into the site, while the 5th guy, that is, I believe, Shiro, is watching the flank, and the site is pretty much taken. There is no overextending. They get the nade. Donk swings after it, gets 1 kill. They swing and get another one. The site is over. The site is taken. The round is over. That's 2-0 for Spirit. The next round number 3, even though it's an anti-eco, they started the same way. Chopper throws the smoke, Chopper throws the molly, Donk immediately takes space to top middle. The only difference right now is the fact that Donk doesn't charge short. He goes lower to clear that, because today's meta, it's much easier to get into lower than it was before, and teams take that advantage, especially on the CT side. And even in the gun rounds, in the half-buy rounds, they try to take the close-range fights, and getting this ground is very important for the T, so Donk takes the timing and takes short. You see Chopper doing his molly for short and taking it instead of Donk. Everything is the same, nothing really changes, just a position swap a little bit based on the spawn. And the group up is again there. The group up on short. Donk doesn't overextend here. He tried to catch a kill, but there is no overextension. They set up with 4 people, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they do the same type of execute with 2 smokes, couple of flashes, and then 1 molly. You notice how they easily clear every angle. Look at the spacing. Boom, 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 boom. 1 next to each other, and even you can do it like this. Oh no, not like this. But they get the kill on Vicadia. Mollies, flashes, spacing is correct. Zontix dies in the meantime. Nobody overextends. The round is over. They took the site. They have everything they wanted. The round is over. Now the first gun round is much more interesting than the other 2, simply because what they did after what they did those 2 rounds. They conditioned them on short, they went short twice, they executed fully, and now you will see what they do. The opener is a little bit different, but not too much. Shiro tries to get a kill. He doesn't get anything. Meanwhile, Zweig or Zweig, whatever you want to call him, does the mid-door smoke, the one that you cannot block. And now people are probably going to ask, why are they so fast in underpass? Simply because Shiro was there, shooting, and nobody was capable of being in under from the CT, so they they didn't took too much time to get into under and then, you know, get some space in the middle. They usually, Spirit usually uses this first smoke for the doors to get short. You will see now Donk immediately not waiting for anything, taking short with his molly. 1, 2, and then he goes in. No damage in return. They have short. Now, what's important for you guys to understand is that this guy here, let me see if I can do this for you. I can. Is watching that Shiro, watching any kind of crosses after that smoke, any kind of over rotations, aggression, or anything that can, you know, hurt the round for Spirit. Now, let's see what happens after that. The short is taken. They have the B lurk on lockdown because that's Zontix, I believe, who is waiting for any kind of aggression from B, and he's not allowing them, not allowing CTs to push anywhere. What happens now is that Donk leaves the smoke for Chopper. Chopper is setting up the same 2 smokes he did in the second and the third round. He does it 1. Come on, Chopper, yes. And he knows the lineup for the second one. We have to jump a little bit. He does it. In the meantime, you will see now that in the same time where he's setting up his smoke, we have the B split smoke to kind of draw maybe a molly or something, and so you don't get mollies when you walk out. The Fae comes in from short. At the same time, they're walking out, trying to get the trade. Everything is cleared, even though they're taking it dry. It's very low risk. Like I said, simply because they conditioned them in the previous 2 rounds to go 3 towards A. And you will see 1, 2, 3 players towards A. So it can be maximum 1 or maximum 2 if in case they defend middle, but nobody does that. At least not too many teams are defending middle by leaving B completely alone. So this is a low risk in most situations play for Spirit. They go in. They get the first kill. Bicadia gets 2 kills, but he's going to be traded later on. The thing that you need to pay attention now here is Chopper, who did the 2 smokes. He's not coming back to go lower. He's not coming back to go middle because the smokes are waterfall type. He jumps into CT, and he doesn't care if the Aurora guys know. They have to deal with him at any rate. So that delays a lot of time, delays a lot of rotation, which pushes X-Flood towards Shiro, because he cannot rotate through CT and he has to go to short. Shiro is there waiting for him, and now you will see him die on the kill feed. And the round is pretty much over. Only thing they need to do is trade Vicadia, who was 19 HP on B side. Zontix does that, and they have the B side. Meyer is forced to go in. The round is over. 4-0 on the back of those plays. Now, this is the last round for Spirit that I'm going to show you here. Similar opening. Shiro covers up middle. There is a smoke. There is no molly this time on purpose. I think Donk wanted to, to charge down and jump on the Xbox and try to catch somebody off guard. This is exactly what he managed to do. He gets a kill here and he dies simply because Voxic was on an unusual spot for him. I don't think he expected that Opera is that close, and he died. But nevertheless, they have the ground. They executed short after this one. They took short. They have space. Long is covered. Chopper is going towards long because I think he did the initial nades and he stayed. Zontix right now, you can see him on your screens on here. He's covering the B push and he's going to be covering the mid push or any kind of mid rotations while they're setting up for the short execute. Voxic is here watching the off angle, the common off angle. He cannot peek into Shiro because he would die, and the Shiro cannot peek into him because he would die too. So everybody's playing it a little bit safe. The 2 spokes come in. Chopper is getting ready here. This is going to be one of the crucial parts here because it's a 4v4. Most likely defense is 2-2. Sometimes it will be 3-1 if people are gambling, or even 4-0, but in most cases they're going to be 2-2. And we'll see why this is important. Meyer tries to gets sneaky into this smoke because he saw them and he tries to play a little bit aggressive just because he has to, and they have no vision on ground. Voxic is staying there on top of the site and he needs to help Meyer in case of short execute, but long is open and that's going to be, you know, very important for the later part. 1 smokes, 2 smokes. Zontix runs up, trade on Meyer happens by Voxic, and then that triggers Chopper. These 2 players are waiting, they're not overextending. Chopper goes in, gets the kill on Voxic, they have the side, the round is over right there. Now, that is the Spirit side of the things, very well executed, very structured, very methodical, very, very aware of the situations and what they can do in certain types of, you know, rounds and in certain types of mid-rounds. So, and the openers are pretty much, you know, flawless in a sense that Donkey understands the timings, understands everything, and he gets the space, you know, very early for his team and allows them to play later. Now, like I said, this is Falcons first gun round. They were up 7-5 on the first half, and now they switched to second. They lost the pistol, they lost the eco, and now they're buying. You see Monesi has the op, but Molotov has the op too. And Monesi dies, but dies for 2 shots. So that is, I don't know if this is unfortunate or not, or should he stayed? Should he have stayed or and waited for the smoke or just crossed? Now it can be classified as a mistake, but I don't know. It's a hard thing to say. Bottom line is this what you're about to see. They have the smoke on door, the unblockable smoke, and nothing really happens after that. The smoke flies, you see nothing going on middle. Literally nothing. They don't take the space. You remember how Donk was here, like right there, with 2 more players. Now there is nothing for Falcons. Even though there is presence, now look at this, on radar you can see it right here, that there is presence on lower and they cleared it. So there is no reason for these 2 guys to not go, except they're afraid of somebody being, you know, top middle or anything like that. But at this situation you have to take that risk, otherwise you lose a lot of ground, you lose a lot of, you know, timings, good timings, and a lot of options later on, simply because you're too slow. They managed to take, you know, short at the end. This is a very miserable fake without any kind of smokes, even though they have 1, 2, 3, 4 smokes. Now, if it was me, maybe I would drop a smoke there, or maybe 2 smokes there, maybe 1 on the left and 1 on the right, and then try to kind of execute, get a kill, maybe even things out and do something more individualistic rather than what they did now. And you will see that nobody flinches from the Furia side at all. They're staying because they understand we are 5v4. In case they do a B split, they will go either 3-1 or 1-3, whatever you want to call it. Yuri on B has the smoke to block off door or something, or tunnel, so they can fight together. So they're not really afraid of B split. And on A side, they have 3 players, including an AWP, 5v4. It's very favorable in Furia side, kind of. So the reason why I went to this, you know, free look, so I could show you the difference between the spacing for Spirit and the padding for Spirit, and the fundamentals for Spirit and the fundamentals for Falcons. Now the first problem is this smoke, which is missed right here. So these smokes should be, you know, here, so you cannot get shot from there or from car, or so you can cross to elbow without being spotted or killed by the op or by rifle. Now that's a mistake number 1. You will see now that Kiyosuke is number 1 and Kiksan is behind him, and the molly is like flying from, I think, Stasis. But the flash comes in from Keiserato, and Kiyosuke just leaves Kiksan and goes back. Kiksan goes alone. Now look at the spacing now. Remember how we did it for Spirit? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at the size of that gap right there for them. So for me, that's second mistake in this part. Even here, the spacing is too wide for them. Now, the first kill comes in. The Kiyosuke trades Keiserato, but he dies to Nico because He swings. The both of them swing there. Remember that, you know, Spirit didn't swing there, even though they know the op. You don't have to swing there, but I guess they felt pressured, and if the situation dictates that you have to go, but he goes there, he dies, the bomb gets dropped, Nico goes for it, Molodoi picks him up, the round is over. That's the gun round number 1. Gun round number 2. Opener, similar to Spirit, yes. Smoke. No molly. For some reason, but I guess that's the point of the plan. But the problem, the next problem here is there is a gap in the smoke. You see the gap in the smoke right here, right there. So you can get shot from the back truck or whatever you call it. Easily, that's another mistake. Now they're trying to take Cat a little bit faster this time, but they realize there is a gap, so Monesi has to stay and hold it. Nobody takes space here. Kyosuke tries to go for a mid aggression or a mid fake, but Kitsurato recognizes that, immediately drops a molly, and he's gonna drop a smoke too. Molodoi went from B, he went to rotate. He realized this is not gonna be B split because we blocked them. Now they finally took short at 1 minute mark, and now at 55 they're ready. You see here on your radar, here, Molodoi is coming back right to this spot. And then we have 2 people getting ready for any kind of A split, long, short kind of round, right? Molodoi is safe because he has a knob, he can escape, and then 2 people are watching long. Now the Furia, they realized it's not going to be a B split after this because, you know, they dropped the smoke, dropped the molly, they didn't hear anything after it. Usually it would be a flash or a fight there or re-smoked the split or anything, and decided to fight for middle in case that happens. So that was a good positioning by them, but even better understanding of the round by Furia on the A side. Now, remember, this is going to be a short execute. Now, Falcons have 2 smokes, 2 flashes, and 3 mollies. You can do all sorts of things. You can do 1 smoke, 2 smokes, similar to remember what Spirit did. Molly here, I think it burned right there, and a couple of flashes that flew over towards the ramp. Now let's play this. They decided to go for a pop against the op, and you will see how it looks like after this kill. The round was over, but you will see how it looks like on Molodoi's perspective. No, not even flashed once. That's a face-it kill if there was ever one. That's a double. The molly doesn't land. He can stay here and he can, you know, go for the 3rd one. There is help from long by 2 players. The round is over. The Falcons have 0 chance winning this round. And now we come down to the last round that I'm going to showing you. That's the second last gun round and second last round of the actual game. And similar opening. Tesses does the smoke. He does the molly, but there is immediately a problem. And the problem is that there is a gap. Now, disregard, this is the broken 8, but there is a gap right here. So if anybody was, you know, pushing up short, he could have line on top middle, and more importantly, there is a gap on top doors. Spirit didn't have that one, remember? They did a good smoke, and they did a couple of times the easy smoke, but the one that can be blockable and the one that's unreliable, but they never missed it. And you will see how that, you know, develops. Kicks and thinks there is a smoke, boom, dead. The round is immediately 140, and then it's 4v5. And that's a problem immediate. Now it's a map 3, you're down 7-11, you're a man down, you're missing smokes, it's crazy. But you will see right here how Furia understands the round perfectly and rotates, because they stopped them on short 3 times now, right here, from the ops and whatever happened there, you remember. And they didn't go long for a single time. So what does Furia think right now, or Fallen, or whoever calls it? Like, listen, we stopped them. They are probably gonna go towards a B split. Let's set up like this. Let's move Molodoi to the kind of the car spot or this corner, elbow, whatever you call it, and we're gonna move Fallen to long, but we're gonna send Keiserato back to the B side, so we're gonna reinforce B. There is no reason for us to, you know, fight middle, because we want to let them go into our stack, and if they go on the other side, we can retake, and I'll show you that after. So you will see here that Keiserato smokes middle, he blocks them a little bit more, forces them kind of towards shorts, but the Falcons don't want to go short because they were burned twice or 3 times already, because they want to go towards B split. Now, what Furia thinks it will happen now? One of 2 things, because they don't know what Falcons are doing. In case they go short right here, Molodoi can pick 1 up, or maybe 2, or maybe even 0, it doesn't really matter. But he can go back and he can sit here with Fallen, right? And then they can retake together from long. And the 3 players from B, nobody will go through tunnels. They will all 3 go clear middle and go from CT, and all players, 5 players, will retake the side from these 2 positions. Or they go into a B split, which gets them into a stack. So 1, 2, 3. This player right here has the first contact. This player has the first contact. This player has the second, and this player is the joker, or what you want to call it, right? Now let's see how that develops. Falcons, they do go into a B split. Yekin, their smokes tunnels after the B split smoke. They are getting ready for it. Monesi has to be the one covering window and flashing them inside, and Nico is stuck in tunnels, which puts only 2 players of Falcons to penetrate the site, which is nearly impossible, especially after, especially knowing the fact that there is 3 CTs waiting there. They do get the first kill, but Yekinder swings from window and he gets 2. Nico is forced to come out to kill Yekinder. He doesn't know Yuri is there. He's dead. Monesi is dead. And then we have 12-7. So I hope you guys understood what I was trying to do. This is not about me, trying to trash talk Falcons or anything like that. Just showing you the difference between a top tier team, a championship team, and a team that is not ready to compete on this level yet. At all. You can see the fundamentals being completely wrong, and for me that is an unacceptable thing, that you have so many skilled players that should be having this down already without having too much time dedicated to those things. This is simple CS right now, and I did dislike the leading, I dislike the individual mistakes, I dislike the way this team is being run, but that's all other subjects. I just wanted to show you guys difference between Spirit on Dust 2 and Falcons on Dust 2. Spirit in the game against Aurora for that playoff spot, and the Falcons against Furia on the elimination game, elimination map decider, whatever you want to phrase it or name it. So you guys tell me what you think. Am I right? Am I wrong? Do you like this video? Do you like this type of content or not? Just let me know in the comments. You're free to criticize, you're free to say whatever you want, obviously. Just let me know if you liked it or not, and what do you think about Falcons and Spirit after this one. See you on the next one, guys.